asking over 100 NBA players who the real GOAT is. You know, my opinion, before we go into this video, right? My guess is the number one is going to be Kobe. I know it's kind of like a shocking opinion. Not many people are probably going to think of it. That's like my wild card guess right now, okay? And let me know if the audio is good. Last time it kind of
in life, very few things are guaranteed. Death, taxes, and the NBA GOAT debate.
Of course.
You can run, you can hide, but eventually, it'll always find its way back into your life. And as much as we think we know about the game, us mere mortal hoop
Hi guys. You guys want to chat now once I'm starting something, okay.
fans have never seen greatness up close and personal like actual NBA players have. So who better to ask about this age-old debate than the players themselves? From all-time greats to Hall of Famers to role players. If we ask the players themselves who they think the greatest player of all time is, who would they choose? Well, we have the answer, and it may not be what you expect.
What the fuck? Your new name is Dutzak. What does that even mean? Who is your GOAT? My GOAT, LeBron James. My GOAT. This is a good vid? Well,
Today's video is brought to you by Draft.
Jimmy, but I do not care about your sponsor. Go get that bag though. Respect.
Back in 2019, The Athletic conducted an anonymous poll involving 127 active NBA players. Sam Amick wrote an excellent piece on this poll. I highly recommend checking it out.
Real quick before we get started, write your comments in the chat. I want to know what y'all think over 100 NBA players are going to think the real GOAT is. Let me see. Let me see what you guys think. Hey Dylan. Hi Fry Sticks. Zach W. Let me see. Who do y'all think? Well, I'm gonna start playing it now. I can read your guys' shit
And
later.
throughout this poll, these NBA players were asked to give their opinions on an array of topics, like who's the toughest player in the NBA, who talks the most trash, who's the best defensive player. For example, one of the questions in the poll was, who's the MVP? James Harden received the most votes from the players, but Giannis ended up taking home the award. Another question these players were asked was, what do you see as the biggest issue facing the league? 30% of players said officiating. But of the 16 questions that were asked in this poll, the question that had the largest discrepancy in votes was, who's the best player of all time?
I think a lot are going to say
Kobe. The best thing about anonymous polls is that players can be as open and as honest as they want to without worrying about being criticized for their answers later down the road. And, well, the players were brutally honest. In fifth place was a tie between Magic Johnson, Allen Iverson, and Kevin Durant, all receiving 1% of the votes. In fourth was Kareem. In third was Kobe. In second was LeBron.
Hey, Kobe made a top 3, and a lot of people's top 10s, he's like 6. So, you know, my point still stands.
11.9% of all votes. And in first, with a resounding 73% of the votes, was Michael Jordan. Granted, this poll
that's kind of a crazy difference. Like, Kobe and Jordan are neck and neck in this player vote. Jordan is running away. So a lot of people say that MJ's the GOAT from the players, and the players probably know best, right? They're the ones playing the game.
Seasons ago, before LeBron won his 4th championship and 4th Finals MVP. But it seems like this debate isn't much of a debate at all. The experts had spoken, and the answer was clear as day. But I want to take a deeper look at these results. What if we removed the anonymity, peeled back the curtain?
How are you going to do that, Jimmy? Please tell me.
And saw how these players voted? Well, I searched. I scoured the internet for every opinion and take on the GOAT debate that I could find, specifically from NBA players. And along the way, I found some interesting things. Like this article from ESPN that says that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron in every way, according to NBA fans. And by every way, they mean literally every way. Like
that is wild, bro. Let's look at these. Better overall, like, bro. To have a drink with, choose it. Like, some of these aren't even basketball.
Which one of them has the better shoes? Who'd they rather have a drink with? And who has the better look? Riveting,
I didn't even see
informative,
that one.
petty even, but no use to us. I came across one video of Meta World Peace's take on the whole debate, and once you decipher his absolute dogshit handwriting, you'll see that he's got Oscar Robertson.
That shit is awful. Is that Oscar with a U?
As his GOAT. He's also got Kobe and MJ taking up the same
Kyrie Irving at 4? What? Wait, and Oscar at 1 is crazy, but Kyrie at 4 too?
Not sure if that's how rankings work. And Kyrie Irving as the 4th best player
does have
in NBA history.
I had
no choice but to assume he was trolling, and so I moved on. Jason Williams gave his take on who he thinks the GOAT is and was ridiculed because of it on national television. Remember, kids, even NBA players can't share their takes about the NBA without getting crucified. Now, it was hard to determine the true answer for some players.
Wearing a Curry beanie as Stephen Curry is such a power move, bro.
Without getting crucified. Now, it was hard
Curry
to determine the true answer for some players since over the years they've changed their mind.
I have a PlayStation message. Yeah, I'll look at it.
At one point, Isaiah Thomas said Jordan was the GOAT, and then he said it was LeBron, and then he said it was Kareem, and then he said it was LeBron again.
Make up your mind, IT. God damn!
Originally, Scottie Pippen said MJ was the GOAT. Then years later, said it was LeBron. Then MJ, and then he said it was Wilt Chamberlain, and then he said it was LeBron again. Unfortunately, some players refuse to give an answer on the debate at all. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's been around since basketball was played with a peach basket and has somehow never outright said who he thinks is the greatest player of all time. But after a long search, I collected the answers from 112 different NBA players. And
this is clickbait. Oh, he said over 100. Never mind. I thought I was going to say. Okay, I'm wrong.
Before I show the results, let's see what we're working with.
Hey, Jimmy,
here are the 112 players that gave definitive answers on who they think the GOAT is. Of these 112 players, 49 of them are currently in the NBA, and 64 of them are former players. If we break it down by decades, 4 of the players that gave their opinion on the GOAT played in the 60s, 2 of them are from the 70s, 6 played in the 80s, 21 played in the 90s, 28 played in the 2000s.
Is it bad I have no idea who Cedric Maxwell is? I feel like I know almost everybody else on this, but Cedric Maxwell. I guess I'm just a casual.
23 played in the 2010s, and
this is not who they picked as best. Okay, I'm so dumb.
30 are a part of this next era of NBA players. Now, of course, we're going to have some overlap in the timeline of players' careers, but for the sake of this experiment, this is how we're going to break it down.
Yes,
don't like it?
Casual.
That's too bad.
I am, man.
And before I reveal the results of this NBA survey, I want you all to make a prediction. In order, from 1 to 5, who do you think received the most GOAT votes among all players in this survey?
I'm going to stay strong with what I said in the beginning. I'm going to go with Kobe. From 1 to 5, Kobe, then Jordan, then LeBron, then I'm gonna just say Kareem, and then oh shit, that's kind of tough. Wild card, Hakeem.
Pause it here if you need to. Got your prediction?
I already did, Jimmy. Thank you.
Here are the results of all 112 NBA players.
I'm probably gonna be
and their
so
GOAT
wrong.
Pick.
I don't actually
Jordan,
believe what
Jordan,
I said.
Jordan, LeBron, LeBron, Jordan, Jordan, LeBron, Jordan, 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 Jordan.
I don't see no Kobe, man.
Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, LeBron.
Oh, hey.
Jordan, Wilt, LeBron, Jordan, LeBron, Jordan, Wilt, Jordan, Kobe, Jordan, Kareem, Jordan, LeBron, Jordan, Wilt, Jordan, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Jordan, Wilt, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Kareem, LeBron. Jordan, Kareem, LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, Jordan. That's 3 votes for Kareem, 4 votes for Wilt, 6 votes for Kobe.
Damn, we need some more Kobe respect. Come on, man.
30 votes for LeBron, and with an
I think I know why I thought Kobe, because I see a lot of players always saying like they think that Kobe's the GOAT. But it's not really a lot of players. Just like that gets the most like media attention because people don't necessarily agree with it, and they're not gonna talk about like, oh, he thinks LeBron or Jordan's the GOAT because that's normal.
Overwhelming 69 votes. Michael Jordan is unquestionably the greatest player of all time, according to NBA players. Now, if we compare these results to the anonymous player poll conducted by The Athletic back in 2019, the results are actually quite different. Michael Jordan still.
You think the Athletic just capped? Like, this is 2019. This is like now, right? That's interesting how different it is. Maybe they changed their opinion based on knowing it was going out to the public, like on their conscience, versus it being anonymous.
Still received the majority of the votes, but this time around, it isn't nearly as decisive as it was back in 2019. Keep in mind, the 2019 survey involved only active players, whereas our survey included the opinions of many retired players. But I think it would be accurate to say that over the last 3 seasons, LeBron has swayed more players into his corner with his title run in 2020 and his unprecedented longevity that now has him within reaching distance of Kareem's all-time scoring record. The only way LeBron even has a shot at being the GOAT in the eyes of most NBA players is through longevity, which has widely been agreed upon even by NBA fans over the last few years.
I agree too.
But I want to point out some really interesting...
I wouldn't say he's the GOAT yet, but I might have said that earlier. I don't really know. I would say when it's all said and done, LeBron will be the GOAT. Unless he just falls off a cliff after I recorded this video.
Things that were revealed while gathering all these answers. Wilt Chamberlain and LeBron are the only players that chose themselves as the GOAT. In interviews over the years, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan have hinted at the fact that they find themselves to be the GOAT, but they've never outright said it. But even more revealing is that time and time again, NBA players, the guys that know the game better than anyone else, choose Kobe Bryant as a top 3 player and in some cases the GOAT, while most fans don't even have him in their top 5. In fact, a lot of the guys who picked Jordan as their GOAT, like Kawhi, Durant, Jimmy Butler, James Harden, Vince Carter, and dozens more, actually had Kobe at number 2 and not LeBron, which speaks volumes as to what these players value and how they define greatness. I personally think that fans of the NBA tend to factor in the totality of a player's career when...
I think for a long time, Kobe was rated like number 3. Like it was Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. They were the top 3 dogs for a long time. And then maybe that's just me being dumb and not knowing much about the NBA. But I swear, at least like back when I was growing up in like middle school, elementary school, Kobe is like up there. Like it's the debate between those 3. And now it's kind of more like, oh, Kobe's 5 or 6. We got Wilt up there. We got Bill Russell up there. Kareem up there. Like it just kind of changed over time.
When considering where they rank all time, which only makes sense. Whereas NBA players put more value in the actual ability and capability of all-time greats when ranking them. NBA players tend to see past narratives, situations, fortune, or misfortune, and rather assess these players based simply on how good they are at playing basketball. Now, I want to point something out. Most of the players that played against Jordan picked Jordan as their GOAT. But a lot of the players that played against LeBron also picked Jordan as their GOAT. In fact, if we look at the eras these players played in and how they voted, players across every decade chose Jordan as their GOAT. Whereas with...
Okay. Damn, Scottie Pippen's just a hater. Look at this, he's just a hater.
LeBron, the vast majority of his votes came from players who may have simply been too young to watch Jordan play. This isn't to say they chose LeBron by default due to their age, but it is something worth considering. But what about the guys that played against or with LeBron, Kobe, and Michael Jordan throughout the course of their careers? Well, this is where things get really interesting, because out of the 112 players who were surveyed, 27 of them played against LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan during their NBA career. And of those 27 players, 1 of them said Kobe was the GOAT, 4 of them said LeBron was the GOAT, and 22 of them said MJ was the GOAT. Just think about that for a moment. Among the guys that actually played against and guarded Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan, 81% of them say MJ was the greatest player. But we can take this even further. What about the guys that played with Michael Jordan and LeBron James? Well, among these 112 players, 27 of them were teammates of either LeBron or MJ. And of these 27 players, 20 of them agreed MJ was the GOAT.
I'm telling you, Scotty's just a hater.
And only 6 said LeBron was the GOAT. And I think this might just be the most revealing aspect of this entire experiment.
No, facts, bro. This might have swayed my opinion. If the players who played with Jordan and LeBron think that Jordan's the GOAT, like, shit, you know? Like, they played with him. They know more than the average NBA fan.
The fundamental difference between some of the best players of all time, like Kareem, LeBron, Wilt, Magic, versus Michael Jordan, is that players respected these all-time greats, but they feared MJ. They appreciate LeBron and Magic and Kobe, but they revere Michael Jordan. Among all the interviews and articles I sifted through to gather the information for this video, it seemed like every time a player talked about Michael Jordan, whether they played with him, against him, watched him, they were all in amazement. Just talking about his game, you could see their eyes light up, like they were talking about some mythical being or something. They're all NBA players. Values, they've all reached the pinnacle of their sports, and yet none of them see Michael Jordan as their peer, but rather above them, like he's on a tier of his own. This untouchable, unattainable, immortal
I wonder
status.
if this video paints how Jimmy actually feels. I don't know what his stance is on the GOAT debate, but the way he's finishing off this video, it makes it seem like he wants us to believe that Jordan's the GOAT. I'm being persuaded right now, I'm not gonna lie.
And yet it still remains Michael Jordan, and then everyone else. Hope you all enjoy. And as always, until next time.
Thank you, Jimmy. Another great video. Thanks for giving me free videos to react to on stream.